Did you settle on a poll question there, Seton O'Connor?
Yeah, we're going to throw up whose career or whose future are you most interested in?
Okay.
And that was Tom Brady, Al Michaels, Sean McVay, Aaron Donald, Ben Simmons, Deshaun Watson, Zion Williamson.
Out of all of that, that group, I'd say Deshaun Watson. How does all this play? Civil lawsuit. When does he play? Who's he play for? What are you giving up to get Deshaun Watson? How's that impact where other quarterbacks could be going? Yes, Seton.
I'm so curious about Ben Simmons. What if he just had all of this time, well, I don't want to say off, but he's had all of this time away from the game. There's almost this expectation that, like, dude, you better come back and start hitting some free throws. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that you've been working this stuff out. What if he goes on to have a tremendous career after this, once he got out of Philadelphia? There's so much unknown there.
But he wasn't a good free throw shooter prior to all the drama in Philadelphia. Paulie, you got Ben Simmons' stats?
Yeah, he was never a three-point shooter. You remember he made that one or two, and he never really became a volume three-point shooter. His free throw percentage going back to his rookie year was 56%. Last year was 61%. It's still in the lower third of the league.
All I need to do is get him to around 75. If you're going to handle the ball, I get it to 75, then I think that you got something there. Now he's going to help you on the defensive end. He's got two good shooters, Kyrie, KD. He's a really good passer, rebounder, and you kind of put him in an element or an environment where you go, okay, let's put him in a situation where he can succeed. But if you said that I can get 20 points out of him and I can get 8 rebounds, I can get 8 assists, he's going to play good defense. He's not a selfish player. In fact, he's too unselfish. But I'd like to get him to that point where, he's not thinking about things. He's just reacting, because the great players don't need to think when they get on the court. They just react. Yes, Seton.
If you're not going to be a long-range shooter, you have to be able to get to the rim and draw contact, get fouls, and get to the line.
Yeah.
If you can't do that too, it feels like it's kind of crippling to your game.
Yes, it is. But if he can get to the hoop, but you got to make those free throws. If you make those free throws, then at least you're a weapon. You don't want to be a liability at the other end. Here's Ben Simmons on what made him want to leave the 76ers.
It was just piled up, a bunch of things that have gone over the years, to where I just knew I wasn't myself, and I needed to get back into that place of, being myself and being happy as a person, and taking care of my well-being. And that was that was the major thing for me. It wasn't about the basketball, it wasn't about the money, anything like that. I want to be who I am and get back to, playing basketball at that level and, being myself.
And the last game,
what's
kind of what was going on through your mind after the last game?
I need to get in a good place mentally, honestly. That was the main thing.
Okay, I don't think it's insensitive to asking about these questions that have to do with mental health. Like, what was it? And I'm not judging him as much as I'm just curious about this. And this is a great platform for him if he chooses to talk about it. Kevin Love has spoken about this. I've spoken about this. Ron Artest has spoken about this. You get the opportunity to explain things, that it's okay. But don't tell me what it's not. Just tell me what it is so we understand this. And I know that he didn't get paid and he lost, $20 million. But what is it now that's going to make this better? Was it that? Why was it that bad? And maybe he wants to just say, look, I'm moving on. I got this opportunity. I understand all of that. But I don't think it's insensitive to ask him about mental health, because that's at the core of all this. And how are you going to be able to deal with what the stress that happens in Brooklyn? Like, these are just normal questions that I'd ask. But, social media was like, oh, people are judging. I'm not judging. People said, oh, leave him alone. No, you are encouraged to talk about these things. If you go through therapy and you have depression, it's speak to somebody. Now, he may not want to speak to the media, but hopefully he gets comfortable enough. And he's gone through some things in his personal life. But, I would love if he wrote a first-person article on this. You don't have to answer questions up there, but share with us so we do understand all of this. And he did pay a price, literally paid a price for this. But his agency has brought this up about the mental health aspect of this. It came down to, in my opinion, he lost confidence, even more confidence. He also had players who turned on him. Coach, after the fact, saying, can you win a championship with him? I don't know. And, these guys are young. They're sensitive. Like Kyler Murray. I was told yesterday by a source, said, hey, understand these guys are really young. You have kids who were their age. And he was kind of saying, people who are older and have the experience, it's easy to go, man, come on, Kyler. But, the point was when we were growing up and athletes were growing up, we hid those issues. I remember Terry Bradshaw coming on the show and saying he didn't mention depression. He hated Chuck Noll. He hated the way he was treated by Chuck Noll. He won 4 Super Bowls. He was going to walk away after his 4th Super Bowl. I think 4 in 9 years. But Terry didn't even know what the problem was. Kevin Love didn't know what the problem was. Walked off the floor. Like, it's real. We understand it. I want to be sensitive to it. I shared with you, a terrible bout of depression I went through. Terrible. And all, you don't know what to say and who to say it to and how you're going to be viewed. When I was growing up, if you had mental issues or depression, then you were crazy. You had a weakness there. And I hope that Ben is able to use this and make it a positive for him and strengthen himself with this. But he's in a sport that all eyes are going to be on him. When he goes to the free throw line, all eyes are going to be on him. At the end of games, all eyes are going to be on him. You better be mentally tough. So you didn't play for Philadelphia. Hopefully he was getting the treatment, the care that he needed. But I don't think that it was insensitive to bring this up. And I'm not judging. If I ask, I'm just asking because there's a curiosity as he moves forward with this. Because the pressure doesn't, it's not alleviated. It doesn't dissipate. There's going to be great pressure on him. Even more, you're playing with Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving. I think you got a better chance of winning a championship than you did in Philadelphia. So the pressure is still there. Ben Simmons talked about playing with Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
And as far as playing with Kyrie and KD, how do you think what you do accentuates what they already do on the floor well?
I think it's going to be scary. Having those guys running alongside me, there's multiple different weapons on the floor, and I think at the pace we want to play at, it's just going to be unreal.
Good. I hope it's exciting. I hope it's fun. I love the trade for the Nets. I don't want to be in the James Harden business. I don't, because he's quit on teams. He couldn't play with Chris Paul. Come on. And you got an opportunity to play with KD. You could have gone to Philly, according to Ramona Shelburne. He could have gone there. He wanted to go to Brooklyn, win a championship, and then he was going to leave and maybe go. It's almost like that was the way station. Hey, I got to go here for a year. It's like a gap year. And then he was going to get to go to Philadelphia where he's, wanted to go. But from what Ramona reported, and I trust that, he had the opportunity. And he chose to go to Brooklyn instead. Yeah, Paul.
I saw a quote from James Harden on social media yesterday, and I thought it was The Onion. James Harden, quote, "I want to play alongside guys that know how to win and will do whatever it takes to win." Kevin Durant's got rings, plural.
Yeah, I know.
Kyrie Irving has a ring. I know he was just part of it, but he was a big part of it. James Harden, I don't think, has a ring.
He doesn't have anything.
He said, "I want to play along guys who know how to win and will do whatever it takes to win."
He's never won.
People think that was a shot at Kyrie for playing half the games.
Okay, and I understand that. You sign up for that, and you didn't expect Kyrie to play just half the games. I get that. But James Harden should be the poster child for what it takes to win in the NBA. Yes,
That's funny. So along these topics, right, a quick poll update. All right. Whose future would you most like to know about? Deshaun Watson getting a monstrous 40% of the vote.
Yeah.
Where do you think Ben Simmons is?
At the very bottom.
Less than 2%.
Yeah.
Very bottom.
Yeah.
How about that?
And I think it's just we're so tired of Ben Simmons. The story is he going to play, not going to play. Why is he not playing? Didn't sit on the bench, didn't go to practice. Okay, now he's traded. I mean, I feel that. You know, there's just part of us you go, just go out and play. If Ben wants to hold a press conference and really let us in behind the curtain, great, I'm all ears. But right now, I just want to see everybody play. James Harden, I don't care. Just play. That's it.